Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the Supreme Creator. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of this person, Zachariah Sitchins. Apparently, he translated some tablets and stuff the same way that Smith, the Mormon prophet, translated people telling you that spirits moved upon them and gave them the ability to transcribe these texts. I don't know if that's necessarily true, and I don't believe anything that I don't know. And I talked to you guys about this earlier, that if you don't know something, you don't know. You don't go on somebody else's belief, somebody else's theology. You don't go on faith, and you don't go on hope. Belief has the word lie in it. So when you are believing in something which also has the word lie in it, then you are allowing yourself to be misguided. I prefer to walk on a path where I know things and when I don't know things. And then when I don't know things, then I search for the answer myself. And I don't take that answer. And what I go to is the Spirit. So quickly, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about this movie here, The Annunaki. It's on YouTube, and you might want to go and check it out. I watched it last night. It is 2 hours and 12 minutes. So set yourself some time aside. It goes deep into theology. I would call, personally myself, I would say that the Annunaki would probably be those that are fallen angels. Something that fell into a materialized world long before we did. I would play this on my channel, but they would strike me. Also, when we talk about a DNA strand, let me show you something. DNA images of a DNA strand. When we look at this strand, this is the serpent, folks. This is the snake. Okay, everything has to deal with metaphors and riddles, and those that have written the Bible, or I should say those that have hijacked the Bible. Okay? Hebrews chapter 7, verse 12, Bible Hub. For when the priesthood is changed, you see, the priesthood was changed from a white priesthood, from a black priesthood to a white priesthood. But we got to remember, what does the Lord say? Malachi chapter 3, verse 6, Bible Hub. Because I, the Lord, this is Yahweh, okay, proper name of God of Israel. This is where I get these sayings and stuff. Proper name of God of Israel, right there. I do not change. You descendants of Jacob have not been destroyed. So God doesn't change. So if God doesn't change, then why was the priesthood changed from a black priesthood to a white priesthood? Jeremiah chapter 14, verse 2, Bible Hub. Judah mourns and her gates languish, her people wail for the land, and cries have gone up to Jerusalem. King James Bible over here says, Judah mourns and the gates thereof languish. They are black onto the ground. They're black onto the ground. And the cries of Jerusalem gone up. So when you watch this movie, if you go and watch this movie, clearly all of the images that they're providing for you in this movie are black people. The Annunaki, they're representing as a black tribe of people. Okay, and in this story, they're telling you that the Annunaki, earlier in the beginning, it kind of looks like the movie Avatar, right? You remember the movie Avatar? Okay, so what they've done is they come to Earth. There's this video is claiming that the Anunnaki come to Earth and that there was already life existent, life forms on the Earth. And this is where you get your images of, let's see, images of Homo erectus. This is where you get your evolution from. All right, so they're telling you that these animals that were on the Earth already, and that this is our evolution, and that the Anunnaki came in and that they spliced their DNA with these Homo erectus, okay? And it didn't just happen the first time. There were many tests that were ran. A lot of failed tests that were ran. But they finally worked it out, and a baby was born. And this whole story here of the Anunnaki talks about Aduma, Adam and Eve, how they came into creation, how the Anunnaki used to use their women to produce these men, and that it became too much. They had to come up with another way for them to procreate. So Ninhursag, which is Enki's sister, or maybe his wife, volunteered herself, and they did some DNA changes and everything, and then that was the first woman. And then that they created the man and the woman to be able to procreate with one another. But remember when I tell you that the Anunnaki in the story had a war, and they ended up blowing up their own planet, Nibiru. And Nibiru is the planet that's on a 3600 cycle. It comes by the Earth every 3,600 years, which could be a representation of 3 6s. Also, Ninhursag comes to 666. And one of the brothers here, Enlil, is God. 636, that's not the one. Enlil is Lord. I just did it last night. Damn it. I should have wrote it down, and I didn't. I thought I would remember it. But using Enlil's name here came to 666. I'm going to find it. I'm going to figure it out, but I'm not going to do it right now. I'll do it in another show. So Enlil and Enki are of the brothers, okay, of the Anunnaki. Enki's name also abbreviated with EA. When you sound EA, it sounds Yah. And it makes a Yah sound. Yah. Now, when I read this story, I think of fallen angels. Because if there's any truth at all to this story at all, then the Anunnaki created man as slaves. They're slaves. Because they blew up their ozone layer, their atmosphere, and they found a way to make an atmosphere out of gold, which kind of sounds a little bit flaky, but hey, okay. So that was the whole purpose of them fashioning mankind, Adam and Eve, was to create them as slaves. Now, naturally, that goes against the creation story that when God, the second one in Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7, Bible Hub, then the Lord here, God, Lord, Yahweh, God of Israel, once again, God Elohim. All right, now I showed you guys a video the other day as well. It's the latest video that I just did. Is this, let's see. Was it just a video? It was right here. I don't know why this short here is in my videos. I must not have made it a short. Anyways, this video here I showed you the other day. You might want to go check this one out. I don't have an ad blocker on. I've already blocked it off of YouTube, but they keep, here. I've told them, report the issue here. I have unblocked YouTube. Yet you keep pushing that I have an ad blocker. Man, it's hard to type around this camera. So, and I did send, this isn't just the first time I've done it, all right? Yeah, this is how pissed off they get me. I'm not a very pleasant person when I get pissed off. So they keep throwing this stuff. This is like 3 times, and then the video player will be blocked after 3 videos. So they're basically harassing me with saying that I have this ad blocker on, and I don't have. This is the control of AI right here, and I'm going to kill AI. When I leave my spirit, and when my soul or spirit leaves this flesh suit, because the flesh is nothing but a host, folks, I'm going to smash the AI into fucking dust particles. Good morning. This is White Raptor News Ministries. All praise and glory. Give me 1 second. Spirit of truth, the living one. There is none like the founder of the nation. The name of the I don't have my history on, so now I can't even think of the name of this channel. I'm gonna have to find that one and do it as well. But the whole purpose of this video here is to talk to you about the strain, the DNA strain, which is the serpent. Okay, when they crossbred their DNA pool into those Homo erectus, they turned us into slaves. It wasn't for a good thing. They did it to make slaves. Now, a lot of people have this argument, why would God create slaves? Because these are not the supreme creator. The Annunaki are not supreme. Anything that has ever possessed a flesh suit is only used for the glory of the supreme creator. Revelations chapter 13 verse 15 Bible Hub. So a second beast was permitted to give breath to the image of the first beast. Something was permitted, folks. Okay? So when I show you stuff like this Lord, God, Elohim, this Lord here, Yahweh, is a breakdown from Enlil. Enlil is Yahweh. And Enlil was the evil god that was always at war with his brother Enki, who is Yah, which gives you the sound Yah. But I've showed many times it's eating me up. I know that I just did that last night, and now I can't seem to think of it. There should be several. Enlil, the God. I don't think it was the God. There it is. Enlil, the God. So Enlil is 666. Enlil, in the translation, comes to Yahweh. Yahweh is the God of Israel. God of Israel comes to 666. Now, I know nobody likes hearing that or seeing it, but in English gematria, that's 666. In Hebrew gematria, it's 322. What's 322? Images of skull and bones. There you go, skull and bones. Let's see. There's got to be one here. Images of 322 skull and bones. There you go, right there. You see, 322 is a representation of skull and bones. Why skull and bones? Because you got to understand that when the Annunaki when they inserted their strain, their DNA strain, let me show you something here. Images of Egyptian hieroglyphs. Let's see. Give me a second here. I'm looking for one particular one. It's the one where Thoth and them are sitting at a table with one another, and it's very telling image. Hang in there, guys. And this is almost one of it right here. This is part of the one that I'm looking for. It's not the full image, though. That's close to as well, but that's not the one I'm looking for either. See, I used to have all these pictures in my files, but I just erased everything on my computer because it was starting to slack. Also, here's a good picture for you to look at as well. What do you think those look like? Looks like a helicopter, doesn't it? This looks like something from the movie Star Wars, doesn't it? Absolutely it does. Oh, I just want this picture so bad to show you. It's a DNA splice, folks. They're showing you everything in these glyphs. I can't believe it. So these hieroglyphs have so much truth in them, and this is where a lot of these people are making these movies and stuff, because these are ancient depictions, folks. I didn't carve these things in the stone, but these were carved through the histories. See, if you were an Anunnaki, and let's say I don't believe that anything can get in and travel. And I use the word believe. I should say I don't know that anything can travel in or out of this plane. Though I believe in portals, but these portals are still limited to the spiritual world. Okay? We don't understand or even know the truth about portals. We're just now starting to come into it. Where is that picture? It just doesn't want to show it to me. Not there. Starting to irritate me. I don't like to take this much time. I'm going to pause the video here and look for it. I told you I'd find it. Okay. You see this right here? That is a telltale sign. This is telling you. Notice how it's connected to the back of the neck? This is a gene splice. All right? And look at the head here. What does it remind you of? Images of the cone heads. There you go. They're mocking you in Hollywood. You see, everything that they produce in Hollywood is from these images that they pulled off of these tombs. Okay? Notice the light. Okay? These could be, I don't know, they could be waves, radio waves, as I showed you the other day. Another picture of the gene splicing. So, this is what the story is of the Anunnaki here, is that they gene spliced their genes with the Homo erectus. Now, Hollywood, images of The Walking Dead, made a movie called The Walking Dead. Why do you suppose this is? Genesis chapter 1 verse 25. Because beasts were made on the sixth day of creation. Remember, folks, that the Bible is a riddle, okay? After 4 years, I've been talking about this parable, Revelations chapter 13, verse 18, Bible Hub. I share this content with everybody over and over and over. And Christians just refuse to hear it because it's a riddle. Here's a call for wisdom, which is Sophius. Sophia, wisdom and insight, human or divine. Okay, I need you to understand Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19, Bible Hub. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19, Bible Hub. I get annoyed when it does that. I mean, it can clearly still hear me talking, and it just stops. It says, O Lord, my strength and my fortress, my refuge in the day of distress, the nations. The nations are the Gentile nations. Weren't we referred to from Obama, bin Laden, who we went in to their country? We flew in those SEAL teams. We captured him. We killed him. We took him out to sea and we dumped him in the middle of the ocean. Okay? The Gentile, also a troop of animals, or a flight of locusts, metaphors, right here in front of you. So the nations will come to you from all ends of the earth, and they will say, our fathers inherited nothing but lies, worthless idols of no benefit at all. When we look over here to the King James Bible, O Lord, my strength and my fortress and refuge in the day of affliction, the Gentile, confirming over here that the nations, this is how I roll, okay? So you have the Gentile nations, the Gentile shall come from unto thee from the ends of the earth, and shall say, we surely our fathers have inherited lies. This is what we're inheriting, is lies from our ancestors, from our fathers, okay, from our government, from those in power, from our magistrates, from our governors, from our presidents. They are lying to us, to all of us. And you guys keep voting them into office like mankind is going to save you. Mankind can't save shit. Mankind in gematria comes to 66. Mankind is what's created on the 6th day of creation. This is later. This is the second man that's created. You have these here, back it up. First, this is the first time beast is used in the Bible. Okay? Then God said, let us make man in our image. So you have one God, Elohim, who splices their DNA strand, which were permitted to create a flesh suit. The most difficult question to ask yourself, to understand, is when did this world become the material world? Well, this is the material world. How did it become material? Who was granted power to make this material world? A friend of mine says, I got to be careful because that I give too much credit to the devil. Because I say in a lot of my lessons that the devil, the second beast, was permitted to breathe into the image of the first beast. The first beast is that right here. It's right in your face. God made the beast of the earth. 125. When you add 25, 26, and 27, this is the beast, this is the man, and this is the man created in his own image. In an image. Now, if we drop it down one more time to 27, it says God created man in his own image and in the image of God. And this is, in the image of God, he created himself. This God was permitted to create himself. This is the one that is a vain show right here. Sorry, wrong parable. See. A second. Right here, vain show of himself. Vanity. That's the vain show. Okay? The Gentile shall come from all ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanities of our lies from our ancestors, from our politicians, from our government, vanities of ourselves. Those of you that stand in the mirror, you put on your magic makeup, you put on your colognes, your perfumes, that's all sorcery, and things wherein there is no profit. What are the things in where there's no profit? Right here, idols, worthless idols that will benefit you none at all. So the Annunaki in this story spliced their DNA with the Homo erectus, which just look at that word, homophobe, erectus. Erection, a Homo erectus. I've taught you guys many different words. This is why when you look at the word bless, definition of bless, Okay? Pronounced word in a religious rite to confer or invoke divine favor upon, ask God to look favorably on, to bless favorably on, right? Of God or some notional higher power endowed someone with a particular cherished thing or attribute. But when you look at the word bless, what does it have in it? Less. So, also, when you look at the word sincere, you have the word sear in it. Now, sear is spelled S-E-A-R, has the same pronunciation, and sear means to burn. You have both the word sin and sear in the word sincere, which is from the pretense of no deceit, free from pretense or deceit, proceeding from genuine feelings. So to be a sincere person means that you do things with no desire to create deceit in what it is you're doing. So I would ask you guys for information to go and watch this video. I would play it, but folks, YouTube is on my ass. Now, it says here, the Anunnaki are a group of deities of the ancient Sumerians. And Jesus came back and said what? Or should I say Yeshua? Yeshua came back and says you're not to go into the towns or the cities of the Samaritans. Okay? Akkadians, also Arcadians, and the Assyrians, and Babylonians. Babylon, folks, is America. In the earliest Sumerian writings about them, which come from the post-Akkadian period, the Anunnaki. Ezekiel chapter 31, verse 3, Bible Hub. Okay, here we're looking at the King James Bible. Look at the Assyrian. The Assyrians. The Anunnaki are a group of deities of the ancient Sumerians, the Akkadians, and Assyrians. Behold the Assyrian. The Assyrian is Satan. Satan was a cedar. What's a cedar? It's a tree. Satan is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Satan was the tree of knowledge of good and evil, with fair branches. Fair branches in this parable means light skin, and with a shadowing shroud. What is the shadowing shroud? It is the skin suit, and of high stature. Why high stature? Because you, on this plane of existence, they worshipped the beast more than they worshipped the Creator. Who changed the truth of God into a lie and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Blessed, less, forever. Who is blessed forever. They worship the creature more than the Creator. The Assyrian with beautiful branches and his shadowing shroud, the skin suit and high stature, because you guys worship the creature more than the Creator. Who's going to break this stuff down for you? Huh? What minister have you ever heard tell you what these sentences mean and what they're saying? None. You know why? Because they're religious. definition of legion: a unit of 3,000 to 6,000. Ain't that cute? 3,000 to 6,000. That would be 3 sixes right there in the ancient Roman army. Imagine that. A vast host, multitude, or number of people. Legions. Remember when Yeshua or Yahushai or Emmanuel, because Jesus is just a translation and it's improper. The legions. Remember when Yeshua cast those demons out of the man? He asked who it was. Who are you? And he says, I am Legion. And they asked him not to cast them. And he asked them to cast them into the pigs, into the swine. You know, swine, I don't know, but I'm guessing that this is why swine are not to be eaten. Because I think that the crossbreeding that these people did, these demonites have done with all kinds of animals, with even females. They've taken animal semen and inseminated women and created all kinds of abominating type of things. So the pig could very well be a man-made animal. And this is why you're not to eat the pig. Also, you're not to eat the pig because pigs, you can take a body and cut it up into pieces, and a pig will devour a human body. 4 or 5 pigs will devour a complete human body within a couple of hours, and it'll be gone. So this is why you're to pray over to bless the food that you eat, because there are parasites in these foods. And his tops were among the thick boughs. His tops. Why were his tops among the thick boughs? Because he is the one with the shadowing shroud that covers everything. The flesh suit is a cover for the spirit. The flesh suit is the trap. The material world is a trap. We're spiritual beings trapped in a materialized world. So I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit. Please take the time, folks. If you're seeking truth and you're wanting truth, you need to be seeking it. I'm not asking anybody to follow me. I'm not asking anybody. I like it when I have subscribers and that there's people that are here that are listening. Honestly, there's only probably about 4 or 5 people out of my 526 subscribers, or 529 subscribers now, that listen to my entire content. All right? A lot of them come in, you watch 10 minutes of it, you watch 20 minutes of it. If you're only watching that, if I got an hour and a half video and you're only popping 20 minutes of it, then you're not getting all of it, man. Okay? You can't do this halfway, folks. If you're going to be in the truth, then you need to be in the truth fully. That means coming in to my room with your glass empty, not half full, not half empty, completely empty. You come into my room, you have to come into this room completely dismissing everything that you've ever been taught on the face of this earth. You cannot grasp this content if you're coming into this room with other information on you, because that information is going to be a hindrance to you. It's not going to allow you to accept what it is that I'm trying to share with you. Now, in place of that, what you need to do is you need to listen to both sides. I want you to listen to the Christian ministers. I want you to listen to what they teach about Jesus. And then I want you to listen to what I teach about Jesus. Okay? let me show you something. Strong's Concordance 2424. Now understand that Jesus in Greek is from Joshua. So Joshua, when the angel came upon Joseph, also Joseph, Joshua, these are all names passed down for Jesus through the time. And it's a Greek god. Jesus, the Greek form of Joshua. Joshua was a Hebrew. Okay? And the number 2424. 2 plus 4 is 6. And 2 plus 4 is 6. That's 66. Iesos is the proper name. This is what the Greeks called Jesus, was Iesos. Also, they called him Iesun. There's an N depending on the translation in the context of the name and how it's being used. So you have both Iesos and Iesun. 2424 comes to 66. Strong's Concordance number 66. Let's see. Which is agrios. And it comes from Greek to Latin, which could be angry. Angrios. Angrios means to be living in the fields. Wild, savage, and fierce. Wild and fierce. Jesus' number, 2424, breaks down to a 66, which is wild and fierce. 66 breaks down to 12. Number 12 of the Strong's Concordance. It's not looking too good for your God Jesus, which means 12 is destruction, which could also be what? The 12 disciples. I just showed you guys this the other day. These 12 Jesus sent out to all the world. Jesus gave his disciples the power to heal the sick, cast out demons, and raise the dead. He instructed them to go to the lost sheep of Israel. To the lost sheep of Israel. Not to the Gentile. Who are these 12? Who are these disciples? These are the prophets of the Old Testament. Preach the kingdom of heaven and freely give what they had received. He also told them to travel light, not take money, food, or a change of clothes. Wow, that's a humble. And today, you couldn't get somebody who doesn't have money, who's traveling freedom, who has no food, or a change of clothes. You'd look down upon them. I've walked up to people in some pretty grubby clothes and they scoff at you. Like, what do you have to teach me? Well, I have a great deal to teach because I was humbled. I humbled myself to the Spirit of truth. I dropped to my knees and I screamed out for that truth, and the truth was revealed to me. Strong's Concordance number 3. So here you have Abaddon, the angel from the abyss. Let's not forget, Jesus was in the tomb for 3 days. 3 days he was in his tomb. And 3 represents Abaddon, destroyer, the destroying angel, or a place of destruction. So Jesus' number, everything about Jesus, 2424 Iesos, breaks down to 66, which is a wild and fierce animals living in the field. That number breaks down to 12, which is destruction. And then 12 breaks down to a 3, which is Abaddon. It's not looking too clear and comfy and cozy about your God, Jesus Christ, Christians. Now, you call him by the wrong name, and what's even more, the angel came upon Joseph and said, "Do not be afraid, you shall have a child and call him Emmanuel." Emmanuel.
According to Wikipedia, Emmanuel is a Mexican singer who debuted in the 1970s.
I'm Manuel. An angel came to Joseph and said, "Do not be afraid, you will have a child and call him Emmanuel." Behold, the virgin will be with child and will give birth to a son, and they will call him Emmanuel. So the biggest question to ask yourself, if the angel came and talked to Joseph and said, "Behold, the virgin will be with child and you will have a son, and they will call him Emmanuel," then why are Christians calling what this Trinity God is Jesus? Why aren't you calling him Emmanuel, which means God is with us? Go out to all the world and teach. Go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost. And he said to them, "Go into all the world and preach the gospel to every creature." Didn't they just say that you worship the creature more than you worship the Creator? Don't they want you to be a new creature in Christ? Can't you see the connections here, folks? John 5:31 Bible Hub. Jesus says, "If I testify about myself, my testimony is not valid." John 8:14 Bible Hub. Jesus replied, "If I testify about myself, my testimony is valid." Not valid. Is valid. Not valid. Is valid. So which is it? Because Jesus says, "I know where I came from and where I'm going, but you Christians have no freaking clue where I came from or where I'm going." Why? Because you believe. You believe the lie. You have a belief system. You go on faith and you go on hope. You believe that the people that are reading this Bible to you are telling you the truth of what the Bible is saying to you. And they're not telling you the truth. Jesus says, "You judge according to the flesh. I judge no one." What? Jesus judges no one? There is another who testifies about me and knows that, and I know that his testimony about me is valid. I can do nothing myself, Jesus says. I judge only as I hear, and my judgment is just. What? I judge no one. My judgment is just. My judgment is just. I judge no one. Which is it? Does Jesus judge? Why do you suppose that is? And he held 7 stars in his hand, and from his mouth came a double-edged sword. He held in his right hand 7 stars and a sharp double-edged sword. Take the S off of sword and put it on the end of words. He had sharp double-edged words that came from his mouth. The sword that they talk about here, folks, is the tongue. It's your tongue. You're liars. You're a bunch of freaking liars. You don't know how to read the Bible, and you don't want to listen to somebody who does know how to read the Bible. You want to just put on your little faith and hope suit and walk in ignorance and darkness. Songs of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 5, Bible Hub. I am dark. What's that word say? Jetty. Black. Dark means black. Dark means black. I am dark, yet lovely, O daughters of Jerusalem. Like the tents of Kedar, like the curtains of Solomon. Like the curtains of Solomon. The curtains of Solomon are black. The children of Israel are black. Those in the province of Jerusalem today are hijackers. This channel here that I listen to, this is called New Covenant Israel, is the name of the channel. And this guy has New Covenant is for Israel. New Covenant is for Israel. And I come in and I support this guy. I do. I leave comments in his comment section. You know the riddles, right? So if I change my channel here and switch my account, look at all my channels that have been shut down. Channel removed, channel removed, channel removed, channel removed. So why do they remove my channels? Because 666 cuts these throats of these people, man. So I had to change. Now, if I came here to this channel here alone, I've been blocked again. This is my channel. I've been blocked again because I'm always being blocked. So I asked him, do you allow comments on your channel? Because if I go back to this channel here, none of those will be there. They'll all be gone.
So I have a few.
See? All my comments are gone. So I said, do you allow comments on your channel? And he replied with, oh, ain't that cute? Oh, he must have taken those comments down too. Because he says, we can do this and play this game all day long. And I'm like, what makes you think that I'm playing games? You know why he gets pissed off at me? He gets pissed off at me because of this right here. I told him that the children of Israel are black, with their faces dark to the ground. People don't like hearing that. People don't like knowing that when I say that it's a double-edged sword that comes from the mouth, it's because Jesus and the prophets and Paul and all of them, all the New Testament prophets are all speakers of a double-edged sword. They're all speakers of a double-edged tongue that comes from their mouth. No one can teach the way that I teach. There's just no way around it, folks. So, remove the scales from your eyes. I wish you the best. May the Spirit be upon you so that you can discern the truth from the lie, so that you can have wisdom. Proverbs chapter 1. So that you can understand proverbs and parables and the sayings and the riddles of the wise. So you can understand the riddles of the wise. I told my uncle that the Bible's a book of riddles. He says, it's not a book of riddles, it's a book of parables. So I busted out about 5 of these riddle parables on him. And that's the way I roll. And this is why Christians flee from me. They run from me. They refuse to hear the truth. They refuse to hear this. They want to cherry pick their scriptures, right? And then when they cherry pick their scriptures, I just blast them and I show them the contradictions. And I'm very good at it. All praise and glory to the supreme spirit of truth, the point of singularity. Nothing that has ever possessed a flesh suit is the supreme creator. It is only something that is used to the point of singularity's supreme glory. The truth, the living one, the perpetual force, the almighty, the all you can see and all you cannot see, the visible and invisible. Oh, goodness gracious. Let's just pull it up since I said it. 1 Colossians chapter 1, verse 15, Bible Hub. What's that say? The Son, Jesus Christ, is the image of the invisible God. The visible and the invisible. Jesus is the firstborn over all creation. Do not be afraid. I am the first and the last, the beginning and end. When I saw him, John said, his vision at Patmos, he fell at his feet like a dead man. Why is John falling at Jesus' feet like a dead man? It's very simple, folks. It's right here. Right here. This God that created man in his image. This is why he's a dead man. Because those that are created on the sixth day of creation are phantom. A phantom is an illusion. It's not real. They are the walking dead. Just like I told you, this is why you have skull and bones. This is why Hollywood made that movie called The Walking Dead. I hope you wake up from all this. All praise and glory to the Supreme Spirit of Truth, the living one. This is White Raptor News Ministries.